What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod, and I'm coming at you today with our Hazy Flame deck profile. This of course was the deck that was used in our most recent duel video series, so if you haven't already checked them out, please go do so. This deck was built by my good friend Gimbledon. He really likes the Hazy Flame archetype a whole bunch. Once he first heard about it and knew that it was coming out in the Cosmo Blazer set, he's been talking about it and wanting to use it ever since. And this is kind of the build that he's come up with. I know there is a lot of different variations of how to use Hazy Flame, everything from using Fire Fist to Fire Kings and whatnot. He kind of likes the almost pure Hazy Flame build with just a little tiny Hieratic engine in it as well too. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get into it and you guys can kind of see for yourself. Alright, so to start things off, he has 3 copies of Hazy Flame Peryton. This is probably your main searcher of the deck. He's able to tribute himself and then send a fire monster from your hand to the graveyard to go ahead and special summon out 2 of the Hazy Flame cards. Very cool, very much an integral part of getting a lot of the combos off in the deck. From there, we have 3 copies of Hazy Flame Sphynx. Then we have 3 copies of Hazy Flame Cerbereus. 2 copies of the Hippogrif. This guy is really cool because he's got the 200 defense that is actually really handy and very helpful. Allows you to go more cards just for your Rekindling plays. Yeah. Alright, so from there we have 2 copies of Laval Lancelord. Very cool. 3 copies of Flamvell Firedog. A great searcher to get us out some of our Hazy Flame cards and whatnot. From there we have 3 copies of our Gaia Dragon of Tefnuit. This is our Hieratic portion of the deck. And then we have 1 copy of Typhoon number 2, one of the long lost normal monsters. This card is used in the deck because it is a dragon, so you can get it out with Tefnuit, and he's a level 6 fire monster, so works really great actually. Anyways, I'll get to some of those little combos in just a little bit. Alright, so from there we got our spells, playing 3 copies of Hazy Pillar. I wonder if you really need 3. I know he has 3 in there just so that he can make sure that he draws it as fast as possible. Kind of getting too many in your hand could be kind of a dead draw, but you do need to get into it to kind of get the combo going. From there we have 3 copies of Rekindling, just a busted ass broken card. 2 copies of Circle of the Fire King. 2 copies of Hieratic Seal of Confiscation. 3 copies of Mystical because we're not playing any Heavy Storm in the deck because we're trying to keep our continuous spells active. And got Monster Reborn and Darkhold to kind of round it up. Alright, so for traps we have a very limited amount of space. He was playing 2 copies of Torrential Tribute, 1 Solemn Warning, and then he was testing out the 1 Hazy Glory to see how he liked it. He said it was working pretty good at some points. He's been thinking about taking it out though. Especially with such a low amount of trap space available, he's been thinking about going just the Treacherous Trap Hole route or something of that nature. Alright, so for the extra deck, we have 2 copies of the Hazy Flame Basiltrice. This is probably your win condition of the deck, at least in this build. Getting this guy out with either 4 or 5 materials under him can be a real pain to get around. He's gotten this out with 5 materials on me lots of times, and it's just kind of like, oh, am I going to get a monster with a high enough attack to get over him? And yeah, it can be a real pain and definitely a pretty cool win condition. From there he has 2 copies of Photon Strike Bounzer. We got Inzektor Exa-Beetle, Swordbreaker, number 25 Force Focus, number 6 Chronomaly Atlandis. We have Hieratic Dragon King of Atum. You can go into this with we have 3 Tefnuits and of course Typhoon number 2, and he can be made. From there we have 2 copies of the Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. We're playing a lot of rank 6s, so if we ever need to go over them with a Gaia Charger to get some extra damage in for life points for trample, or if we just exhausted their effects, then it's a really good card. We also play in a few rank 4s because we do have the Flamvell Firedogs. When you play Rekindling and you bring some back, sometimes it's more optimal to go into some rank 4s with them. So we have Utopia, Maestroke, number 50, and Photon Papilloperative. And that's going to round up the extra deck. Okay, so I'm just going to run over a couple of really quick little easy combos. One of the ones you can do is go ahead and start off by special summoning out your Hieratic Dragon of Tefnuit. From there you can go ahead and tribute Tefnuit for a card like Hazy Flame Peryton. Okay, Tefnuit's effect will activate, allowing you to bring Typhoon number 2 from your deck to the field. You can then go ahead and use the Hazy Flame Peryton's effect. You can send a fire monster along with itself to the graveyard to go ahead and special summon out these Hazy Flame monsters from your deck. I've noticed that he normally grabs a Sphynx and either Hyppogrif or possibly Cerbereus. From there, you can go ahead and use Sphynx's effect, and if you actually call a monster and you tribute a monster off from your deck to the graveyard, you can go ahead and get another card back and just special summon it out. If not, you got a couple of good plays. You can either go into 2 separate rank 6 monsters, or you can just make a really strong Hazy Flame Basiltrice right there. Pretty cool. Either option is pretty good. I've seen him go multiple ways with it. Or if you don't get off Sphynx's effect, you can just make a Basiltrice that's got 3 underlay units to it. So he's going up and attacking. You can always get rid of an underlay unit to go ahead and remove a monster on the field. Really cool effect. Alright YouTube, and there you have it. This was the Hazy Flame deck that my good friend Gimbal did and was using in our most recent duel video series. I'm not going to go into like too many of the combos. A lot of them are pretty basic. They just revolve around using Rekindling to bring back your monsters from the graveyard and go into some really good, quick rank 6 Exceed monsters. You don't always have to go into Hazy Flame Basiltrice, but typically I found that once you get him with a lot of materials under him, he just becomes almost unstoppable really to get by. Anyhow, in the comment section below, make sure you let us know what you think of this deck. Any kind of helpful, constructive criticism is always most welcome. We always like to hear ways that we can improve the deck and anything like that. And I guess that's about it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.